Ever looked at your wilting plant and thought, what did I do wrong? Well, you're not alone. The world of gardening is full of trials and errors, and sometimes we're left scratching our heads wondering why our green haven has turned into a plant graveyard. Let's talk about some common slip-ups, those moments when we're overzealous with the watering can, and our plants end up drowning rather than thriving. Or when we underestimate the power of a good fertilizer, leaving our plants malnourished and gasping for nutrients. And let's not forget the classic blunder of planting our seeds too deep or too shallow, leaving them either suffocating or exposed. But it's not just about the mistakes we make. It's also about those pesky garden pests that creep in unnoticed, turning our beautiful blooms into their personal buffet. And then there's the weather, playing its unpredictable hand, with a late frost or a scorching heat wave turning our gardening dreams into nightmares. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of potential problems. Maybe gardening isn't for me. But hold on, don't throw in the trowel just yet. Gardening is a journey, and every journey has its bumps in the road. The important thing is to learn from our missteps and use them to grow, both as gardeners and as individuals. So the next time you find yourself facing a gardening disaster, take a deep breath, roll up your sleeves and remember, but don't despair. Every gardening mistake is a stepping stone to a greener thumb. Now let's roll up our sleeves and turn these disasters into victories. You see, every gardener has faced a moment when their green sanctuary has turned into a wilted wasteland. But fear not, let's dive into some ways we can transform these mishaps into wonderful wins. We've all seen it, the once vibrant, lush green leaves of a plant turning yellow. This is often due to overwatering. The solution is simple. Ease up on the watering and ensure your plant has proper drainage. With a bit of time and care, you'll see those leaves regain their lush green hue. Ever come across those pesky little bugs munching away at your precious plants? That's an infestation. Don't panic. There are numerous natural remedies that can help you combat this. From introducing beneficial insects to using homemade sprays, there are ways to reclaim your garden from these unwelcome guests. And how about those times when your plants just refuse to bloom? It's frustrating, isn't it? This could be due to a lack of essential nutrients. Try using a balanced fertilizer to give your plants the nutrients they need. You'll be surprised by the transformation. Ever felt the disappointment of seeds not sprouting? It's likely that they were planted too deep or the soil temperature wasn't right. Next time, make sure to follow the seed packet instructions and monitor soil temperature for optimal germination. These are just a few examples of common gardening disasters and their solutions. The key is to remember that mistakes are not failures but opportunities for growth and learning. Every mistake you make is a chance to learn more about your plants, their needs, and how to create a thriving garden. In gardening, as in life, there's always room for improvement. It's about turning obstacles into opportunities, learning from our mistakes, and continuously striving for better. Remember, patience is a gardener's best friend. With time and care, you can turn any gardening mishap into a victory. So keep gardening, keep learning, and watch as your garden transforms into a flourishing oasis. We've gathered some of the best green thumbs around to share their secret gardening tips. First off, we have Martha, a botanist with over 30 years of experience. She swears by the mantra, right plant, right place. Understand the needs of your plants, she suggests. Sun-loving plants won't thrive in the shade and vice versa. It's all about matching the plant to its preferred environment. Next up, we have Tom, a landscape architect. His golden rule? Soil is everything, he says. A good garden starts from the ground up. Regularly test your soil's pH and nutrient levels, and amend it accordingly. Your plants will thank you. Then there's Alice, a horticulture professor. She warns against overwatering. More plants die from overwatering than underwatering, she claims. Wait until the top inch of soil is dry before watering again. And remember, plants in containers need more frequent watering than those in the ground. Let's not forget Peter, a master gardener. He emphasizes the importance of regular pruning. Pruning stimulates healthy growth and helps shape your plants, he explains. Just make sure you're using sharp, clean tools to avoid spreading disease. And finally, we have Emma, an entomologist. She advises to embrace the bugs. Not all insects are bad. Many are beneficial and help control the populations of less desirable pests. Learn to identify these allies and encourage them in your garden. These quick exchanges of knowledge are like gold dust for any gardener, seasoned or novice. Remember Martha's advice about putting the right plant in the right place. Keep Tom's soil tips in mind. Heed Alice's warning about overwatering. Don't forget Peter's pruning pointers. And take Emma's bug advice to heart. Armed with these expert insights, you're well on your way to recovering from any gardening disaster. Remember, every mistake is a learning opportunity, a chance to grow not just a better garden but also as a gardener. Take these tips to heart and witness your garden flourish like never before. Now let's dive into some DIY recovery techniques you can try at home. First up, let's talk about overwatering. It's a common mistake and it's one that your plants might be paying the price for. But don't worry, here's a simple solution. Cut back on the watering and let the soil dry out. If the plant is seriously waterlogged, you might need to repot it in fresh soil. Remember, it's better for your plant to be a little thirsty than drowning. Are pests making a meal of your garden? That's a problem no one wants. Let's tackle it head on. Try making a homemade pest spray using natural ingredients like garlic, chili powder, and dish soap. Spray this concoction on affected plants and watch those pests scram. If that doesn't work, consider introducing beneficial insects like ladybugs and praying mantises that prey on common garden pests. Next, we have the dreaded yellow leaves. This could be due to a lack of nutrients. Your plants need a balanced diet just like you do. Here's a quick fix. Try giving your plants a boost with a balanced, all-purpose fertilizer. You can find these in any garden center. Don't go overboard though, too much of a good thing can be harmful. And what about those plants that just won't grow? It might be a case of poor soil quality. A great solution is to introduce organic compost into your garden. Compost not only improves soil structure and drainage, but it also provides a smorgasbord of nutrients for your plants. You can make your own compost at home using kitchen scraps like fruit and vegetable peelings, coffee grounds, and eggshells. Finally, let's tackle the issue of sparse or patchy lawns. This can be a result of heavy foot traffic, poor soil, or lack of sunlight. Aerate your lawn to improve soil structure and allow water and nutrients to penetrate more effectively. Reseed any bare patches and make sure your lawn gets at least 4 hours of sunlight a day. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. So don't be disheartened if your garden doesn't look like the ones in magazines. With time, patience, and the right techniques, you can turn things around. Try these techniques and you might surprise yourself with your garden's transformation. Today, we've tackled some of the most common gardening disasters and their solutions. We've dived deep into the murky waters of overwatering and seen how, with a little patience and the right technique, we can nurse our plants back to health. We've battled the uninvited guests in our gardens and discovered how to keep pests at bay. We've learned from the experts, absorbed their wisdom, and understood that every garden has its unique rhythm. We've also rolled up our sleeves and got our hands dirty, rectifying common mistakes with do-it-yourself solutions that are both fun and effective. But the real magic happens when you take these lessons and apply them to your own green space. So go out there, apply these techniques, and watch your garden thrive. Share your recovery stories with us. Remember, in the garden of life, every mistake is a seed of growth.